In trading, everyone talks about discipline. Stick to your plan, control your emotions, trade like a robot. You've heard it all before. But let's be honest. If discipline were that simple, every trader would be profitable. Every plan would work. Every stop loss would hold. Every rule would be followed. Yet, even with a solid strategy, clear risk management, and the best intentions, we still break our own rules. We chase trades we shouldn't. We hold losses longer than we promised. We cut winners too early. We repeat the same mistakes over and over. This is the discipline trap, the space between what you know you should do and what you actually do. And in today's episode, we're going to unpack why that happens and how to finally break free from it. Let's start with a harsh truth. Most traders think discipline is about willpower, about forcing yourself to behave. But discipline isn't about forcing anything. It's about training. You don't become disciplined by trying harder. You become disciplined by designing your environment, training your mind, and removing the need for constant decisions. Because every time you have to decide whether to follow a rule or not, you've already lost. Decision fatigue is real. The more choices you make during a trading session, the weaker your discipline becomes. Think about it. Your brain can only handle so many moments of restraint before it looks for relief. You start the day disciplined, patient, logical. Then after 5 hours of charts, small losses, and hesitation, you see one setup that looks almost right and boom. You jump in without confirmation. It's not because you're weak. It's because your mental energy is finite. Discipline drains like a battery. Every trading rule you break is your brain trying to protect you. Yes, protect. When you move your stop loss, your brain says maybe the market will reverse. Don't take the pain yet. When you overtrade, it whispers, you need to make that loss back. Don't quit now. When you hesitate to pull the trigger, it warns, be careful. You might be wrong again. In every one of those moments, your brain isn't sabotaging you. It's saving you from emotional pain. But that protection comes at the cost of progress. The problem is not that you lack discipline. It's that your emotional mind and logical mind are in conflict. Your trading rules live in logic. Your actions live in emotion. Unless you learn to bridge the two, your emotions will always override your rules. The first step out of the discipline trap isn't more willpower, it's awareness. Before you can change how you behave, you have to see it clearly. That's where journaling and post-trade reflection come in. Write down every time you break a rule, not to shame yourself, but to understand why it happened. Ask, what was I feeling before I broke the rule? What was I afraid would happen if I followed it? What did I tell myself to justify the decision? Soon, you'll notice patterns. You'll see that you tend to overtrade after a big win or revenge trade after a loss. You'll realize your rule breaking isn't random, it's emotional. Once you can identify the trigger, you can manage it before it happens again. The second step is building systems, not depending on motivation. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about making mistakes harder to repeat. Here's how professionals do it. 1. Reduce discretion. Pre-plan everything. Entry, exit, position size before you even open your chart. If the setup doesn't meet your checklist, you don't trade. No debate. 2. Automate your rules. Use alerts, limit orders, or trading software to execute parts of your system automatically. Remove emotion from the moment of decision. 3. Set behavioral guardrails. Limit your number of trades per day. Limit your screen time. Once you hit your daily loss limit, walk away. 4. Reward the process, not the outcome. Most traders only feel good when they win. But true discipline grows when you reward yourself for following your rules, even if the trade lost. 5. Build recovery routines. Meditation, walks, breath work, anything that resets your emotional state. A calm trader is a disciplined trader. Here's something most traders never realize. You can't force yourself to act disciplined if you don't see yourself as a disciplined person. Rules don't change identity. Identity changes behavior. If deep down you believe you're inconsistent, emotional, or impulsive, then even the best strategy will collapse under that belief. You'll always act in alignment with who you think you are. So instead of trying to follow rules, start building the identity of a professional trader. How? By creating small daily actions that prove it. Every time you journal, every time you wait for your setup, every time you close your laptop instead of forcing one more trade, you cast a vote for the trader you want to become. Confidence and discipline grow from repetition of identity. You are not trying to become disciplined. You are becoming someone who is disciplined. Even the best traders slip. They break rules, overtrade, chase losses. But what separates professionals from amateurs isn't perfection. It's how fast they reset. When you break a rule, don't spiral into self-blame. That emotion keeps you trapped. Instead, pause and ask, what triggered that behavior? What emotion was I trying to avoid? Name the emotion, frustration, boredom, greed, and accept it. Then reset your space, your posture, your breath. Every time you reset, you strengthen your discipline muscle. It's not about never falling. It's about recovering faster each time. Discipline isn't just about control. It's about trust. When you're disciplined, you are telling your subconscious, I trust my plan. I trust my preparation. I don't need to chase. Lack of discipline is usually lack of trust in your system or in yourself. And the only way to build that trust is through evidence. That's why your journal matters. That's why reflection matters. Because every entry, every insight, every honest note is proof that you're growing. Discipline without trust is punishment. Discipline with trust is power. The discipline trap isn't that you can't follow your rules. It's that you keep trying to do it with force instead of awareness. You don't fix indiscipline by working harder. You fix it by understanding yourself, by knowing what triggers your emotional reactions, by simplifying your process, by turning your rules into habits, not decisions. If you take one thing from this episode, let it be this. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Align your habits with your goals. Align your actions with your identity. And over time, the trader who once broke every rule will become the trader who doesn't even think about breaking them. So, the next time you break your rules, don't just ask, why did I do that? Ask, what part of me needed control right now? Because trading isn't just about charts and setups. It's about the unseen battle between logic and emotion. And the traders who win long-term are the ones who learn to master themselves before they try to master the market. You don't need perfect discipline. You need consistent awareness. And from that, unshakable discipline will naturally emerge. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Let's Talk Trading podcast. If this episode gave you something to think about, subscribe and share it with a trader who needs to hear this message. Take care and see you in the next episode.